to get back together again. And I think it was me that said, well, if we're going to do this shit again, I'm not lugging my drums and my cymbals, but I was like, let's just get a place.
The drummer's curse, isn't it? Like everybody
curse.
turns up and plugs in and that, and the drummer's always had to be famous for having to be lugging a van load of equipment in and out of venues and setting everything up, and that is the drummer's curse. So the idea then to get a place is a natural progression at that point, and when you're jamming a lot, you know, it becomes like. You want the freedom to be able to come whenever you want. You don't have to be worried about other people's booking schedules and shit like that.
But then again, you've always got the idea of a band where you don't make money, which is like just shocking, really. You know, it's like, I mean, you entertain people, you put so much work into it, and we're all paupers, you know.
Aye.
We're all trying to hold it all together. So,
aye, that's part of it as well.
So we're lucky enough. This place came about. We knew a fella that was opening up a plumbing showroom, and we knew him. Said to him, and he was keen, so we'd keep his rent in, and we get in with a couple other people that took it over and kind of kept us on, because again they're kind of
through the years.
Yeah.
So how long is that now then? Like how long ago were you talking there? Like how long have you had the place?
Well, we often talk about this, and we can never really get a
definitive answer.
We can never really get like a date as such. But you know, it must be 18 years anyway. It must be
18 years.
It must be.
That's crazy, man. That's well. So then, like when you first took the place on, you were doing a lot of gigs as a 5-piece. Is that with Sid James Experience?
Yeah, aye.
Like that, as I was growing up, that like people would always talk about any good bands in the area, and it was Sid James Experience was always the first band that anybody spoke about. Do you know that? That's like my kind of earliest memories of that. Like Paul, the singer for the Sid James Experience, his sister is friends with my mum. So like I had heard that over the years as well, but my first hearing of the name was always this, like, go and see this band, they're fantastic, they're such a good live experience, you know what I mean?
Well, your mum's pal Corinne is definitely, she was like the biggest Sid James fan there. Corinne, if you're listening, you really are a nutter, mate. You're a fantastic nutter. But you were always first up dancing. You were always first to do the big woohoos and all that kind of stuff. Corinne was the ultimate Sid James groupie. God bless you, hen.
Yeah, I hope Corinne gets to listen to this and hears that, because that's my early memories of Corinne are always super wrapped up in music as well. So it's no surprise, you know what I mean.
Good fun, man.
And I think Corinne's still enjoying music in the same manner they did. You know what I mean. So
exactly.
I rock on, Corinne. That's brilliant. There's nothing better for when you're the band in a quiet venue and somebody is excited by your presence enough to get up and dance. It's like, it's so valuable, you know. I just don't think some people appreciate how much the local band needs that, the local singer needs that, you know what I mean? It's a super important part of the process, you know what I mean?
I mean, if anybody knows me, they'll know I'm definitely not a dancer, but I have been first up in the dance floor so many times for bands for that reason. Because you need to give them support. Totally,
man. It's a cliche, almost like you're saying support local music, but it's the most important of all the cliches regarding local music, you know what I mean? Like, that's showing that support gives people the buzz to keep playing, and like you just don't know how you're inspiring to keep going and what they'll achieve down the road. You know, it's fantastic, man.
Yeah.
So that's great.
So we've done that for a good few years, and then Sid James we came to a kind of natural kind of end, really. You know.
Aye.
There was never any fallouts or anything like that. There was just a kind of
just a natural conclusion,
a kind of natural end.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. That's in a way it's not good that any band ends, but that's good when it's not. Bad,
it was just the way it was. But probably maybe just less than a year before we actually broke up, one of the original guys that played in like the Us Band, the Spin the Bobo, the Baffled Buffaloes, and the Sid James Experience. Stephen Friend, who is part of this studio at the moment. And let's say Steve's a bit of a boy. So he never turned up for a jam one night. We were jamming in Polaroid in Gordon's studio.
Would that have been the studio that became like Beat Sync at Loch Lomond Studios and that Phil and Richie had for years?
No. It was actually just done for that.
Oh, right, close in the same industrial estate, right.
So we were jamming out there one night and Steve didn't appear, so I jumped in the car. He was living in Dumbarton East, and I popped it and I went to his door and I was like, Steve, we're jamming tonight. He's like, no a good time, man. 13 years passed and I was walking across the Balloch Bridge less than a year before the Sid James broke up.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve was walking along the Balloch Bridge. He'd just married his new wife.
His wife, right.
Well, his only wife. I don't know. I don't know if he thought we fell out, but we never fell out. So it was great to see him. Big hugs and all that stuff. And then I kind of rekindled my kind of friendship with him, and he started coming to see the band.
Right.
But we used to do 3-hour sets, so you'd have an hour, a wee break, and 2 hours, do you know?
That's
3
a long
hours.
start.
Nobody does 3 hours,
No,
and we didn't get paid anymore for it or anything. So then I suggested, how do we not get Steve to do a wee acoustic set before, and then we could just do like a 2-hour set.
Aye.
You know? So
absolutely. Get somebody else on to do warm the crowd up and that.
Steve started appearing, and as the band was it was time to kind of end. I was like, what are we going to do in the studio? So we're like, well, we could keep it going. So the famous Tommy Mills, me and Steve, we decided to keep the place going. And we were very much into like doing all our own stuff and all that. And me and Steve had got a band with his brother back in the 90s, the Perfect Detonators. And we done all our own stuff. We had some good gigs. It was like Sleazy's, and we
cool,
got a wee gig in King Tut's as well. So that was a great band. So we ended up like just playing away with Tommy, but we started kind of like recording and all that, and Tommy hated recording. Tommy's attitude was like, you've got maybe like, you know, like a song, be it Stairway to Heaven or a classic or whatever song you want is your favourite. Tommy's attitude was the point of writing a song, because you're never going to write a song better than that.
Aye.
That was his attitude.
You could do an hour on that statement.
So he's got a point. He's got a point, but
that's we'll get back to that. Get back to that.
So he hated recording them. He hated recording, and we actually used to like no tell him we were recording, just so we could get him. Get him on tape, basically.
Just get it on the fly. Right. It's not the first time, I'm sure somebody's had to be.
So then, around about that period, Steve's wife was getting like kind of pissed off with him, like just like going on about music all the time. She says, "How the hell do you know like do music more?" You know. So I think it was her suggestion that he actually goes to college and learns Pro Tools. Just he's a nurse, to a year off his work. And go and learn Pro Tools.
Right.
So he done that, went to Annie's Land College, and that's where he met Eddie.
Pull that a wee touch closer to your mouth there, mate.
That's where he met Eddie, who's like pivotal in here. He's our sound man and good bit of inspiration and all that.
The wee knob on this side, it'll let you pull the microphone stand.
All right, I got you.
Technical difficulties here, folks. Difficulties.
So Steve met Eddie at Annie's Land College. Everybody else was about like 12, and Steve's in his 40s.
Oh, is that where they bumped in? I didn't know that.
Aye.
Right, excellent. All right, that's cool, man.
Eh.
I went to college doing music as well, so that's interesting. I do see that. Like, you go and there's like 16-year-olds, and then there's like people who have went back older, like want to do music.
Exactly.
There's a big gap in the age.
And Eddie wasn't a musician or anything, but he was just very good with computers, and he really took to the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the two of them ended up like good buddies, going for the alternative lunches and all that kind of stuff. And then he started coming in here, and he just, every time we were here, he was here. He was loving it. So I just said to him,
Eddie was just loving being in about the world of music, bands, jamming, loud drum kits and all that. Like,
oh,
I could totally, man. That makes a lot of sense.
And because
he
he loves learning.
Yeah,
as
man.
well.
Mm.
He takes so much in, so he was just brought his computer in. We didn't have any recording stuff apart from like a wee digital 8 tracks, but he came in.
That's what we started talking when we turned the mics on about the night, the ancient myths of multi-track recorders and reel-to-reel recording even.
So Eddie comes in with a real computer and Pro Tools and all that, and just get into it. So I just one night I was like, Eddie, you've just got to be part of the gang here. And he's been a great mate ever since,
The fulfilling the digital technical recording side of things is such a, like, I went to college and done that, but I played music first and had no idea about any of that kind of stuff, and it's like you really miss it. You miss out on so many fantastic jams, great ideas, like stuff that will eventually become songs because you weren't able to actually record them down in a good way, like, no, that's brilliant.
Aye. So that's what happened to Eddie. So then it was like 4 years including Tam, but Tam started like kind of not really liking the recording kind of side so much. And then anybody that knows Tommy, they'll know what happened. He ended up getting ill and all that, and he's not here anymore, unfortunately. God bless.